What is up, guys? Tonight on the podcast, we have the NFL, some NBA, and the Major League Baseball.
Been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
All right, guys, welcome back. We have we took a lot of notes today. We are coming prepared today. We attempted to do a podcast the other day. We had some malfunctions. It was just whatever. We're not going to talk about it.
But we're back.
We're back.
It doesn't matter.
We're back. It's a beautiful day today. It's starting to feel like fall here.
Sometimes you just have those podcasts where you just don't feel good about it, and you got to make that decision whether to edit it, delete it, and start fresh. So we kind of are going to do a little bit of both with that.
We have a funny clip in there where eventually, we just stopped talking about sports. We had Austin Lloyd. We call him Gibby. We had him on the line with us, and we were just having funny stories about us fishing and just all kinds of crap. So we're gonna put that clip in towards the end. So if you stay towards the end after we sign off, we'll put that little clip in there.
And we kind of rushed to that one. We weren't prepared at all, and it wasn't really much to talk about. It was the typical stuff: Yankees winning, and this one, I think we're a little more prepared for it.
Yeah, I'm ready. Just on a side note here, we are in the works right now of currently making a logo, and
we have a company in New York that is designing a logo for us, and they're going to send us 9 different logos back to look at, and we can make changes to it and see where this goes. I mean, this could lead to merch, and this could lead to a bunch of different things, bumper stickers. Who knows? Maybe we'll see.
We can finally make some cards, too, some business cards. All I'm saying is I will happily make a hoodie with everything goes on it. We get a sick logo. I'm so excited. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and after work you come home and, hey, guys, we got your logos for you. Oh,
let's just jump right into the NFL. The NFL is preparing their players for a 2021, which after the 2020 season, the CBA is up, and they're basically having a guidebook made for the younger players and to get ready for it.
It's literally called the Work Stoppage Guide.
This time they're really planning on having a work stoppage where these guys are ready, so no one crosses the picket line, and they want to get the new CBA, and they want to have things in it for them. And let's face it, the owners win no matter what, really. I mean, they make their money, and everything works happy for them. The players want to finally get theirs.
I mean, they're saying that it's unlikely that there's going to be a stoppage, but they're really just preparing people. What was funny is, as I was taking notes for this, it literally says, ESPN acquired a copy of the guide. So they got a hand of the guide here, and it says, it provides advice such as learning to say no or not now when friends or family ask for money. You know what's funny about that?
Cut the entourage off.
No, it's just funny that, you have to make a guide for some of these grown men. I mean, obviously, I could see, you have a younger guy, maybe 21, who just, first-round pick, got millions of dollars, and he's trying to help out people. But it's just funny, how some of those guys you can see, they're living such a high life now and just spending so much money, and they're they got to teach you how to save your money.
Well, they're telling them to start taking half your game checks and putting them away. If you have a big house, start renting out rooms. If you have extra cars that you don't drive, sell them. They're really preparing to have a full-out blown stoppage after the 2020 season.
But like I said, they're saying it's unlikely. But, you have to prepare for the worst. I mean, look at the AAF.
It's happened before. But the thing with the NFL and the AAF is the NFL won't fold. What they'll do is they'll either try to have people cross the picket line and come and play, but it won't be the same. You're not going to want to watch the Dallas Cowboys or the Saints or the Eagles or all of these with players that you don't know.
Yeah.
So if they do cross the line, it's going to be ugly for those players because the real players want to make their money, and they want to get the CBA done, and a lot of things they want to change, especially the running backs. They're trying to start their own union now.
Yeah.
They feel like they're underpaid, and they want to be paid like everyone else.
It's saying the biggest sticking point in negotiations remains that the revenue split between the owners and the players. Currently, the players have a downside share of 47%, but the NFLPA's goal is to make things more even in that regard.
I think they should just do like baseball, man. No salary cap. If you spend so much money, then you have to pay, into a luxury tax. I wonder if teams like Dallas, if they would, have an open checkbook like the Yankees. You know?
Like when we get into all that stuff, I'm not gonna lie, like it gets a little confusing for me. Like the whole like salary cap and like the cap room, like a lot of that stuff gets confusing me. Like when like even what I just read, even though it's right in front of me, like I get confused on a lot of that stuff. Because like when you start talking about the money side of football, the money side of sports, it can get a little like hectic.
But these GMs have to know their stuff. They really
Oh
do.
my, yeah, absolutely.
Just like Jerry Jones said, there's a pie, and everyone wants a piece of that pie, and you have to know how to split that pie up evenly to keep your team competitive and to keep things going. At the end of the day, that money doesn't go to the owners. That money, the salary cap is divided up amongst the team. So,
I mean, the NFL hasn't had a work stoppage since 2011 when the lockout lasted about 132 days. But it stopped short of forcing teams to miss any regular season games. There was another stat, too, where, like, eventually, like, I mean, you were talking about the one time. It was, like, in the 1900s something where, like, they didn't even play games. Like, that's how long it lasted.
Yeah,
What is it? What is it? Like, how many years is it that they have a contract extension here?
I don't know how long their contracts run for, but I think baseball's is coming up, too. And it happened in hockey, I remember, where they cut the season in half and they didn't even have a Stanley Cup.
What? Like, I want to know, like, who is this other company? This is like what?
It's the NFL owners on one side, and it's the National Players Association on the other side.
So, like, the people that represent the players?
Yes.
Now, like, why is it that, like, every, like, 5 or 10, like, let's just say it's every 10 years. Like, why is there so much conflict? Because, like, they have all these ideas that they just want to add in.
Yeah, because you think
it would just be easy just to, like, okay, like, let's settle this, let's fix this, and we're good.
But when your contract's up and it's over, you want to take things that are in that contract that you don't like and change them, like the marijuana issue.
That's probably going to be a big one coming up.
Cutting back on fining and suspending players on PEDs or whatever it is, like these guys that are getting fined. They can negotiate all this stuff to the new CBA. And I think marijuana is going to be one of the ones that's gonna get cut, and you're not going to see players getting suspended for the use of marijuana.
You think there's ever been a time where, like, the NFLPA, like, they at one point, like, it was such a big holdout where they were almost at the point where it was like, you know, we'll just go create our own league, like, we'll go hook up with someone else, like, we'll sponsor with them, like, that was the XFL.
They're never going to create another league. It's always going to be the NFL. The problem is like, say you see players from the Cowboys or whatever, and they're all outside picketing, protesting because they want this in their CBA. They'll have guys that'll cross that line and actually come and play. They won't play
for like cheap.
They won't play for millions of dollars, but
like
it's
thousands.
happened before. Yeah, they have had guys that came across the line and they played. And
you probably
have
to think that's probably tough. Like, say you're like a third string guy, right, and you're not making the best money, but you want to stand for your teammates, but at the same time, you need money for your family. Like, what do? You think family's first, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rookies that there's going to be a lot of pressure on them that are on rookie deals that aren't making millions of dollars that are going to have to make a decision of what do I do?
Start saving money.
Especially like when they get their first checks, man. What's the first thing they do? They go out and they splurge because they're going to get that second check.
Yep.
So you have to be smart because you never know when a work stoppage is coming, and if it does happen. I mean, we talked about this with Jarvis, man. These guys have to know how to save their money and be responsible with their money.
And obviously, when you hit those millions of dollars, I mean, obviously you want to take care of your family, you want to take care of your close friends. But I think in this situation, with how close it's coming up, you kind of like want to cut your circle a little extra small here. Like, don't be hanging out with 20 friends, giving them dollars and dollars and dollars to go get stuff.
See, the thing is the NFL owners, they never lose. I mean, they're all billionaires. They never lose.
Even if it sits. I mean, I feel like if they're sitting out, though, they're losing money because they're not making money to pay their play. Now, what happens? Why can't they pay their players? Like, if their players are under contract, why aren't they getting paid?
They're going to get paid. They're saying, like, if you're on a rookie deal and your deal's up after this season, you don't get a new contract. You're still going to get paid.
But you're not going to get your weekly game checks.
No, because there's a work stoppage.
See, that's where it gets confusing.
Guys that get guaranteed money, I'm not sure exactly how that
They'll
works.
get their money, but they won't get their game checks.
Yeah, you don't get game checks.
That's confusing, because if you're a rookie, you probably don't have a lot of guaranteed money, so you're relying on those guaranteed game checks.
It depends where you're drafted, too. I mean, each round, you lose more money. I mean, you think about it. Like guys like Saquon, they have endorsements and all that. They're going to be fine.
Yeah. Since since you brought up marijuana, we'll talk about Golden Tate. He took his appeal. He got denied, which it's such a stupid situation, and I feel so bad for him right now because Tate, who signed with the Giants this offseason, released a statement last month before he even failed about how he's going through fertility treatment. He's trying to have some kids, and the stuff that the doctors gave him. he was taken, and then he found out that the one thing in whatever it was that the doctor was giving him, something in there, he found out that would make him fail his test.
The problem is, though, Ty, is, you know what, you feel bad for the guys. At the end of the day, they have to be strict with this. You don't,
absolutely.
I mean, I could tell you right now I'm taking something, but I'm taking something totally different. But my story, these guys hear story after story after story, and they have to make decisions. You know, Golden Tate said he was taking some kind of fertility drug, but his wife had a baby, 6 months ago? So when was he taking his fertility drug? I mean, if he's trying to have a kid, I mean, he already has 2 kids already, and one's only 4 months old.
But he's getting older. Maybe he needs some extra medication.
I
don't know the full story. I know that like before he even failed a test, though, I know that he personally went to the NFL. He went to his coaching staff, and like he told them the whole situation, and then he failed his test. And but he was hoping that
he probably knew he failed his test before the owners did. And my thing is like with Quinn from Dallas, you know, he's saying that his pills were cross-contaminated by another pill that actually covers up you taking a PED. And it was minuscule of what was up on his test. But the problem is and he went and got his own arbitration, the whole 9 yards. The NFL was not even the arbitrator of his case, and they found him guilty. Even though they said he wasn't trying to cheat, and the amount was so little and minuscule, they still suspended him.
Yeah.
The thing is you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because these guys have to know what they put in their bodies. They have to know exactly what they're eating. I mean, they had a couple years ago where people were eating steak at another country or something like that, and they said that caused them to have a dirty urine.
Yeah.
So you have to watch. I mean, you can't believe every story that you get.
Yeah. I mean, Tate did say he was confident that the NFL would overturn the suspension because the treatment that he was taking, it didn't give him competitive advantage. Mm-hmm. This is his first positive test under the PED policy. What sucks in these situations, I wish that the NFL was able to, like, you know, do an investigation with this where they can, like, go to the doctor and say, hey, was he really here for this certain reason? I mean, if he's taking a drug that's for to have, like, kids and he's not getting bigger and, like, there's nothing in that drug that is going to get him bigger and, like, the doctors has the note saying, like, this is what he was doing here, in that case, like for 4-game suspension, like that should slide.
See, what I would do is I don't know too much about the NFL. If they have laboratories, they have all these doctors. I would send my medication to them and have them test one of the pills or something, see if something's going to show up before I even start taking it.
You know, that's a good thing too. These players should be like, hey, like, or your coach or the NFL or whoever's in charge, be like, hey, like, this is the drug that my doctors prescribed me. Can you look at it, examine it, and make sure that there's nothing here that can fail me? I haven't taken it yet, but can you check this out? If it's good, I'll take it. If it's not, then I'll find another solution. That's something that, I mean...
But why does it always seem like it's always the big-name stars that have the problems?
I know. And I feel bad for the Giants because the Giants have such a weak receiving core right now. I mean, it's so shaky. And they're saying they wouldn't even put Jones in if they had to until Golden Tate came back to give him a chance to have some good receivers there.
God, I don't mean to jump around. We're going to stick with the NFL, but I'm looking. The Yankees are getting kicked in the teeth tonight. Bad. 9-1 in the third.
It's bad. It's bad.
But that's to get back to the point. It was those are the kind of things that they'll negotiate and they'll try to work out to see if they can change the policy. Make
they're going to
changes.
try and lower that.
I mean,
absolutely.
The owners are going to bend, but they're not going to break. And you know, not only that, the Players Association, they have to give a little to get a little. So they're going to have to negotiate, and this is where they pay their big boys to represent each of them, and they'll sit down in a room and hash it out. Do I think there'll be a full-blown lockout? No, I doubt it, because the NFL thrives. It's a big brand, and they make a lot of money.
All right, so 3 weeks in the training camp, Houston Texans defensive end Clowney still has not reported. Coach Bill O'Brien was asked Wednesday about speculation that the Texans could trade the 2014 number 1 overall draft pick.
Well, there's the problem, like I said to you before we came on the air. There's no GM down there, so
no.
Bill O'Brien and
he has
a bunch
most
of
that
other,
power there.
There's like a bunch of guys on that board that are making the decisions. The problem is that if you're willing to make a trade, then you have to have a verbal commitment from Clowney that he's going to sign an extension. Otherwise, you're going to be in the same boat.
Another thing here is under the franchise tag, he's scheduled to count $15,967,200 against the cap this season. That is the number 1 alone limits the Texans' potential trade partners. Now, we were talking before we came on air that I would, if I was the Saints, I would. I was actually listening to some of the New Orleans podcasts today, and they also said that they would trade a number 1 2020 pick right now because the Saints are in a win-now mode. You know what I mean? Obviously, they have a lot of younger guys in their defense that are like for the future, like Davenport, who you don't even know how he's going to be yet. But if you're the Saints and you have the opportunity to go out there and get another elite defensive end to go with Cameron Jordan, I mean, together they would average 20 sacks a year.
Yeah, but what Houston wants is line help, offensive line help. What do you have?
And that they were saying that they should trade for the Redskins. That guy's sitting out, but the Redskins said they're not going to.
No. And that guy, what was his name, Trent Williams or something like that?
Trent Williams.
He wants to leave the Redskins because he don't trust their freaking their staff. He doesn't trust their doctors. He said there's a lot of guys that got misrepresentation from their doctors and had injuries that they're supposed to come back from, came back and got injured again from the same injury. They never healed right. He just wants to be out of that organization.
You see that? I feel like you see that a lot. You see a lot of players who get injured. Now, again, there's a lot of players that get injured and they blame the medical staff. But you do see a lot of speculation about some medical staff. Clowney last year had 9 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 38 solo tackles. So, I mean, if you get him, you're getting a great player.
Yeah, but the problem with him is 5 surgeries in 5 years.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're getting.
No, it's almost like a Machado rental the Dodgers did, though. You pick up a guy, you're going to give up a lot. But if you have a young, good team, like say you're Dallas right now, okay? Dallas, absolute young stud defense. If you had the chance to offer a number 1 2020 pick to get Clowney for a 1-year rental, would you do it?
Nope.
Not even if it helped you 90% chance to get to the Super Bowl.
No, because one player is not going to make you go to the Super Bowl.
I mean, that can make
your first of all, I wouldn't invest that much into him. I mean, it would be a 3rd or 4th round pick for my
that's another thing too. Now,
I wouldn't give up a 1st round pick
with how much he would get with the franchise tag. I don't think that they're going to get a 1st round pick unless someone has a lot of money. Just because they might at one point just say, we just want to get rid of him. We'll take a 2nd round pick. We'll take someone.
But my thing is what kind of money is he looking for? You don't even know what kind of is he looking for $21 million a year? Is he looking for $20 million a year? What's he looking for?
I think he deserves a wealthy contract. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, but health is the main thing.
Health is a big thing, but there's a lot of guys here that are getting injured.
But my boys on 105.3 The Fan, Tolo, they were saying that the Cowboys could give up Leo Collins, Ezekiel Elliott for Clowney and a 2nd round pick.
I'd do that.
I don't know.
They say, I just saw some that Zeke's lost so much weight that he's never been this fit since his rookie season. But that's
but the thing about that is he's down there running on the beach and he's getting in shape, but he's not running through tackles. He's not doing plays. He's not doing anything. This is a new offense.
Yeah,
and he's sitting back.
I watched that game.
And Pollard
looked good.
Good.
He
looks
looks real good. If I was Zeke's age, I'd be like, you need to get down here.
And they're saying Alfred Morris is a stud.
Alfred Morris is a good player.
Morris is a stud.
Let's be real. You don't need Zeke.
Well, look,
Zeke needs you right now.
Zeke has a decision to make. He really does. He can sit out until I think week 8. And then if he plays from week 8 on, he'll accrue a season, so he wouldn't be stuck.
I mean, when you got 2 years left in your contract, there's no reason to be sitting out.
But the problem is if he sits out week 1, he's going to lose a $200,000+ check. He won't get his game checks.
Clowney has basically is not under contract right now, so he basically has a no trade clause. So he basically has the power to decide whether a trade could happen or not. But
I think he's another one. I think he's just going to have to sit out. Did they even offer him the franchise tag?
I don't know if they offered it yet or not. But I mean, we watched him. When we watched Denard Robinson gets hit so hard his helmet came off. Remember that?
Because I think the franchise tag for them, if I'm not mistaken, is like 18, 19 million, maybe.
I think it's even a little bit more than that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not a bad deal for 1 year.
No.
I mean, it's guaranteed.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. I don't know, man. I mean, I personally think that Clowney, I would take Clowney in a heartbeat. I think he's a great player. It's just you're seeing a lot of these players go through things like this. They don't want the franchise tag. They want the guaranteed money. They want the contract. I mean, Kirk Cousins was the only one that happily took those franchise tags every single year because you think about it, like you said, that money's guaranteed. That money's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Go play a full season. Get that guaranteed money.
Yeah, I saw a story this morning. Jimmy Garoppolo in practice, I guess yesterday for the 49ers, his first 5 throws that he made in practice were all picked off.
Really?
Yeah. That's crazy.
No, I think he's still going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Jimmy Garoppolo, he's friends, Brissett. Brissett might be the starting quarterback because Andrew Luck's ankle injury isn't looking too good. They honestly don't even know who's going to start week 1 yet. They don't even think he's going to play the whole preseason. His Andrew Luck's week 1 stats uncertain. He's dealing with that ankle and calf. They're saying it's a calf injury now.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? No, from March on, they said it was a calf injury.
Yeah.
Now they changed it and they said it's a high ankle injury. You know what does this sound like to you? This sounds like the same thing Kevin Durant went through.
How do you not know what the deal is?
Calf injury. He comes back and plays game 5, blows his Achilles heel out.
Yeah, it says right here the 29-year-old has been dealing with a calf injury since April, causing him to miss the OTAs and portions of team's training camp. This is Andrew Luck talking to NBC Sports' Peter King right here. He said, at times I don't worry about it. He's referring to his calf here. It can be frustrating, the arc of an injury, whether it's a big surgical one or something you're rehabbing through. I mean, he's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He missed all of 2017 due to a shoulder injury that required surgery. He also missed a lot of time in 2015 with a kidney and abdominal tear.
Yeah, he's never healthy.
But this is what sucks right
he's
here.
He's a great quarterback.
This is what sucks. Last season, he appeared in every single game, and he was named 2018 NFL Comeback Player of the Year. He tossed for almost 5,000 passing yards with 39 touchdowns.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting. You know what's going to be real interesting? People drafting this year for fantasy. You got Antonio Brown.
Don't take him.
You got
Like,
Zeke.
I wouldn't take Zeke. I wouldn't take Luck. Like, that's risky.
You got players like Andrew Luck.
Like, me personally, I took Le'Veon Bell last year, and that screwed my whole season.
Yeah.
That screwed my whole season. I don't know. Brissett, this is what they say on Brissett. If Luck is kept off the field, the head coach said they're okay with Brissett. He's obviously a good quarterback. I mean, he learned from Tom Brady. Him and Garoppolo they're all great friends. He's 26-year-old. Started 15 of 16 games during Luck's 2017 absence. He passed for 3,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
He always has good stats.
He always has really good stats. I mean, since entering the league in 2016, he's got a 59.1 completion rate, which is pretty good for playing not a lot of games. I like Brissett. Brissett's a great backup to have. He's probably one of the better backups to have in the game. I mean, he learned from the GOAT, Tom Brady. I mean, look at what happened with Garoppolo. Garoppolo went to the 49ers. He played great. Unfortunately, got injured twice. No, just kidding, just once. Don't know why I said twice.
You know what? You know who's worried about quarterbacks right now? Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
They lost another backup quarterback
During the third
They don't know what it's going to be. I mean, it could be just a concussion, but, man, Colin Kaepernick maybe?
That's what I'm hearing.
That's
what I'm hearing.
To the Eagles?
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I know there's a lot of drama that goes to Colin Kaepernick. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't like him for what he did. But physically, dude, as a quarterback, he is better than 99% of backup quarterbacks.
I would take him at Dallas. Dallas don't have a backup quarterback.
If you think about it, if you're the Eagles right now and you need to go get a quarterback, who are you going to call? You're going to call some lower guy? And let's be real. I'm not saying this as a mean thing. Carson Wentz has a really high chance of getting injured again. If you think about it. I mean, 2 or 3 injuries in a row now?
Well, he's playing with a big contract over his head now.
It's like, if he gets injured, who are you going to play? I mean, you have a really solid team right now, okay? If you pick up Colin Kaepernick, that's a great backup. I mean, him and Deshaun Jackson, come on.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they're saying that Deshaun Jackson doesn't look like he's old at all.
No.
He hasn't missed a step.
It's just he deserves to be in this league. I know, like, what he did is very offensive. I mean, we come from a military background. I totally understand. But
we're over it.
It's just like he's. If you need a quarterback, like, you go take him.
I mean, Reed's in the league. There's a bunch. It's not just Colin Kaepernick that did it. There's a bunch of guys in the league that have done it.
I know.
I don't know.
I mean, think about how many teams could even just use a good starting quarterback to let alone. I mean,
the NFL. There's a lot of great stories. I mean, look at that homeless guy from the Cleveland Browns. You know, he was an All-Pro freaking punt returner. Gets his shot, first kick, 87 yards for a touchdown. He gets signed. It's just they should bring him back. I mean, I think he served his penalty. I mean, maybe the thing is that he did sue the NFL and he did settle. So I don't. Maybe that's. I don't know. I don't know the whole the do with it behind closed doors. What happened? What was said? I mean, apparently someone's feelings are hurt.
Yeah. I mean, you can only take so much from the media. You can only believe so much in the media. I mean, we truly don't know Colin Kaepernick. We truly don't know the NFL player, the owners. Like, we don't know what happened. It's just, I don't know. I mean, what leads into this, though, is that NFL and Jay-Z Rock Nation to form entertainment and social justice partnership. I think that this is a huge thing right now. You're going to see this a lot talked about because they have almost full control of the Super Bowl, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z denied playing at the Super Bowl. He said, the NFL... I don't need the NFL. You guys need me. But the deal would make the agency a co-producer of the Super Bowl halftime show. This is what Roger Goodell said.
Let's face it. Jay-Z is a smart businessman.
He is.
He
is.
does not care what
now,
anyone
Jay-Z,
thinks about him. He used to. Is he still, or he used to represent Colin Kaepernick?
I don't think he does, but this is what we're going to talk about. Is because
Eric Reed ripped him.
You're going to see him probably get something with Colin Kaepernick. Now Rock Nation is Jay-Z, and he is the agency of just some big names here. Is Todd Gurley and Saquon. I forget. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, and I think he does represent Kaepernick for some reason. I thought he does, but anyway, he's a money man, so he's going to make money.
Now, this is what Roger Goodell said. He said, I could just picture Roger Goodell, this annoying little white guy. We don't want people to come in and necessarily agree with us. We want people to come in and tell us what we can do better, which is true. Jay-Z can make some very good changes. Goodell said, I think that it's a core element of our relationship between the two organizations, and with Jay and I personally, it would just I'm not laughing at this interview. It's just Goodell cringes me. But Rock Nation, which represents the likes of New York Giants back Saquon Barkley, which I said, and Rams, looks forward to potentially making a difference in the league. And that's where when I see him saying he wants to make a difference in this league, I can see him trying to get Colin Kaepernick back in this league.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of opportunities if he did get back in the league.
I mean, last year, Jay-Z, he called the former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick an iconic figure. I just think that there's a lot change in this league, and it would not shock me if you saw Colin Kaepernick back in the league. It wouldn't shock me.
No, it wouldn't shock me at all. And by the way, I just want to go back for a minute, but the Clowney thing. There's an article that says the top landing spots for Clowney. One is the Washington Redskins for Trent Williams, which I don't think.
But I've read that was debunked now because the Washington Redskins said they're not trading him.
The Seattle Seahawks, the Indianapolis Colts, and Tennessee Titans are both good fixes for him. The New York Jets, and the one that scares me the most is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Dude, I don't want to hear that.
If he would go to the Eagles,
I'd be so sad.
That would be insane.
I'd be so sad because let's be real. At home playing in Philly, dude, that team would be so hard to play.
And the Eagles are smart. They're smart. That's a smart business company. Could you imagine him on that defensive line?
With what's his Fletcher Cox, Graham? Is it Graham? Who's the guy from Michigan?
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of bad when you're doing a podcast and your dog laying next to you breaks wind. I mean, that is disgusting. I should just make him go in with mom. That's horrible.
So we were talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and the latest rumor coming out is that the Cowboys organization secretly released Dak's contract talks on social media to have the fans side with the Dallas Cowboys.
I applaud it.
That's messed up, man.
I applaud it. It's smart negotiation.
I mean, in a sense, if you have a guy that's asking for way too much and you kind of want to show the fans what kind of personality he has, I can see that. But at the same time, that's some personal information you guys are.
But they didn't give out anything. I mean, it's negotiations. The Cowboys offered him 30, they won 40. Knowing damn straight he's not going to get 40, that's how you negotiate. You don't take the first deal.
Yeah, but
they're going to come in the middle. But the thing is they want to show their fan base, because the fan base is probably sitting back what's going on? The Dallas isn't doing nothing. I mean, I'm one of those guys. I used to complain all the time. Dallas never does nothing in the offseason. They're coming out and saying, look, we gave these 3 players top 5 money. That's what we're offering them. This is what he wants. It's smart.
Yeah, but if I come in and
first of all, just to clear the air, nobody's ever said Dallas Cowboys have ever released that. That's just a rumor. It's a rumor.
I mean, someone said it.
Yeah, a reporter came back and said
someone said it.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I can see Jerry Jones doing that.
You don't know that.
Now, if I come in, if I have a negotiation with someone, an organization, and I'm trying to have a contract extension talk with my future organization, and I'm finding out that they're releasing that stuff, that's showing me that there's no trust, man, and I don't want to be a part of that organization.
He wants to be, though.
No, I know, but if it was
me, the Dallas Cowboys, say Dallas offered him $32 million, just say, is he worth that? I don't think so, but he's going to make that $32 million. It's going to probably be a 3 or 4 year deal. He's going to make a lot of money in those 3 years, plus endorsements. With the endorsements plus his salary, he's going to be making over $40 million a year. Some of those endorsements are big money endorsements.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just, dude, I'm just saying, if that was me, and I mean, obviously you can't trust the media, but if Dallas is secretly releasing stuff like that, that would bother me. I mean, obviously, if I want to play for a franchise, make it be the franchise quarterback, and I hear about this stuff, that's going to question my thought, obviously.
Well, but you know what? I think they have until before the season starts to get a deal done. Dallas is in good shape. if they don't sign him and Cooper this year, they could franchise tag both of them next year. Not to mention, Zeke is under a 2-year deal yet. So, and I think we're fine at running back. So, just say they both sit out and we franchise tag Dak next year. Dak's going to probably make close to 30, 40, 35, 40. No, I don't say 40 million, but like 30, 35 million with the franchise tag. He's going to get his money. Either way, he's going to get his money. But the thing I like about him and Cooper and Byron Jones, they're all at camp playing. That's what I love. Playing out their deals, which is
how it should be done.
Which is good. Which is real good.
And I mean, I don't want to go into it. It always bugs me hearing how I could see Dak and Cooper, having like one in a contract extension and like having a fuss about it. But like, just what bothers me, Zeke has 2 years left in his contract.
Yeah.
2 years. Why are you sitting out? You have 2 years left. You don't have one. You know what's stupid is you don't see MLB players doing this.
No, because they already have their guaranteed contracts. They know what they're going to make by the amount of years that they play. So they're going to roughly be in.
But in
a
any
certain
sport,
amount.
you don't see this.
Well, baseball has arbitration where they go to arbitrator and they work out their deal. Where if somebody wants $5 million and the Yankees offer them $3 million,
They go to court, right?
They're going to go to arbitrator and battle that out.
That's how it should be for NFL. They should have like an arbitrator.
I agree 100%.
Have a guy in the middle ground that says, yes, this is what he earns. If you don't want to pay him, send him as a free agent. Make it simple instead of having people hold out and making everyone look bad.
I know.
All right, are you ready to move on to baseball? Do you have anything else to talk
I
about the NFL?
I still have football stuff, but I just
You lost your reading glasses there?
believe me, I need them. I had a report, and now I can't find it, so I don't know if you want to pause. To get back to the Cowboys for a second, the Dallas Cowboys, this is going to be the 6th straight year a key defensive player being suspended. 52 total games of suspensions have happened. 30 of them are by Randy Gregory alone. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Just where the NFL's going, I mean, the opportunities these guys have and the suspensions, it just makes no sense. But anyway, Adam Shine. Let me see. Adam Shine from the NFL. NFL.com came out with the top 9 defenses for this year. You want to take a gander at the top 9 there, Ty? Okay. Number 9.
I don't even know, man.
Is the Green Bay Packers, which I don't understand. They got a whole overhaul there. I mean, they don't have Clay Matthews anymore. Mike Daniels, he's going to be
I would say
gone.
at least in the top 5, you have Dallas and the Rams.
All right. Number 9 is the Green Bay Packers. Number 8, which is going to be a shock because this team is going to be ranked good in offense and defensive. The Atlanta Falcons.
Dude, I mean, when you have all those guys come back,
Atlanta Falcons.
they're going to be good.
Number 7, the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Number 6, the New England Patriots, which I'm surprised because New England really, I mean, last year they had a decent defense, but they never have like
A solid one.
blow you away defense. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills.
Really?
Buffalo Bills are listed at number 5, yes. He said the Bills are his Cinderella team this year. I went on record with this team as my pick in April. The defense is going to help.
I mean, you think about it, they have some
club to
really
new
good
heights.
guys in that team, actually.
Yeah. Number 4, Jacksonville Jaguars, which I think that their
That's
defense
good.
was
Their
really good
defense
last
is
year.
always good.
It just they didn't get as many sacks last year.
Ramsey's a
turnovers.
great cornerback.
Number 3, which I'm surprised about this because they changed coaches and everything, the Chicago Bears.
I mean, with all that talent, man, they're going to be good.
Number 2, the Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Number 1, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
Now he also does a report on the top 9 offenses this year.
Ooh, okay, let's do this.
Top 9 offenses.
Number 1, New Orleans
No,
Saints.
let's go number 9.
Number 1's New Orleans Saints.
You're wrong already. Number 9 is the Indianapolis Colts, which I don't think, if Luck's out, I don't think they're going to be on this.
He's probably banking on Luck being in.
Yeah. Number 8, which I'm surprised they're this low.
New Orleans Saints.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Number 7, the Cleveland Browns.
Dude, they're going to be
And
shocking.
I'm surprised too because that offense is stacked, man. They got a great running,
Stacks
2
on paper,
great
but they
running
haven't
backs,
played together yet.
Great tight end, great receivers. Although Odell Beckham did hurt his hip today.
Really?
Number 6, which is a shock again, Green Bay Packers. I mean, sure you have Aaron Rodgers, but it's a new coach, new scheme. I mean, although Rodgers does run it no matter what.
Who knows how the running back game will be?
Number 5, the New Orleans Saints.
That they should be top 2.
Number 4, Los Angeles Chargers.
Are you kidding me?
Number 3.
You're gonna tell me Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Drew Brees, and you got Keenum better than Michael Thomas? We got Jared Cook at tight end. Who they got? They got Henry, a guy that's missed how many seasons? Dude, get that out of here. No way.
This is what he writes about the Saints. He's like the New Orleans Saints. I'd argue that Drew Brees and Michael Thomas comprise the top quarterback-receiver combo in the game today. Thomas rightfully got paid last month, as the Ohio State product's been a pass-catching machine since he stepped on the field in 2016. He just paced the NFL to 125 catches and did so on only 147 targets, meaning he posted an absurd 85% catch rate.
Dude,
argument.
Phillips is nowhere near Drew Brees. You got top 5 QB, a top 5 receiver, top 5 running back, top 5 offensive line, top 5 tight end.
Brees and Thomas is the best connection going. Alvin Kamara is absolutely breathtaking. It says Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. It doesn't say that about Brees.
No, dude, no way.
At
Brees
age
is so much
he
better
still has
than
the
Phillip
ability
Rivers.
to overtake the game.
Phillip Rivers can't make the playoffs half time, and when he does, he chokes.
Mastery of the position helps the Bolts overcome an offensive line that has less than optimal.
And they're not even going to
Keenan
have
Allen-
Melvin Gordon.
Keenan Allen, yeah, but they have plenty of backup
Who?
running backs.
Who they got? Who they got?
I don't know. They did fine without him when he was hurt. Anyway, number 3 is Los Angeles Rams. Number 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs. And the number 1 offense in the NFL for 2019 is the Atlanta Falcons. Crickets.
Dude, that reporter has the worst predictions.
I don't know.
First of all,
Whatever. Dallas isn't even in the top 10, so you don't hear me complaining.
oh my god, dude. I'm over it. I'm over it. I have nothing to say. Obviously, Kansas City should be up there. Obviously, the Saints should be a top 3. Eagles should definitely be a top 5.
Well, he has one more too. If you want to really get into it, the top 10 players of 2019.
Just start at number 1.
Number 1, Aaron Donald. Number 2.
I mean, Aaron Donald was voted by the fans.
Number 2, Drew Brees.
Oh, it's like he's reading off the
Number
top
3,
players.
Khalil Mack. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. Number 5, Todd Gurley. Number 6, Tom Brady. Number 7, Antonio Brown.
That's what happened with the YouTube. That's literally the YouTube rank right there.
That was the USA Today rankings. This is from Mark Stein. Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones, and Von Miller.
That's literally the same rank that the NFL players voted each other.
Oh, that wasn't even his list. Hold on a second.
No, that wasn't his list.
That wasn't his. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was the top 100 players of 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, here's his list. That's underneath. I'm sorry. I apologize to all the listeners out there. Hear the crickets. Aaron Donald, number 1. Patrick Mahomes, 2. Aaron Rodgers, 3. DeAndre Hopkins, 4. Khalil Mack, 5. Julio Jones, 6. Michael Thomas, 7. Antonio Brown, 8. How come? No, okay. Tom Brady, 9. Ezekiel Elliott, 10. Ezekiel is probably not going to play right now.
Of this year?
Yeah, that's his projections.
Okay, first of all.
Whatever happened with Antonio Brown saying that he was going to retire from the NFL if they banned his helmet?
He just hypes it up.
Would he get cold feet?
He can't get cold feet because they're frostbite. They're way past cold feet. They're frostbite.
It's a joke.
I know.
Anyway,
Gruden came out and said he's playing week 1.
The Sporting News came out and said the Cowboys versus the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Cowboys win.
Well, there's preseason games tonight, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them going on right now. Anyway, I had a note here that was pretty freaking cool.
It was so cool you forgot to put it in front of you.
Oh, here it is. It talks about the NFL. The NFL, it's getting younger. The NFL is getting younger, but the older teams are winning Super Bowls. 26 is the average age of NFL players right now. 62% of the players in the NFL right now are on rookie contracts. 62%. That's how young the NFL is. The Pats and the Eagles, they have been dominating the NFL by signing middle-class second contract players and winning. It's a new trend. Average players on a rookie deal make about $1 million, and average players on a second contract make about $6 to $7 million. And they're saying that the Eagles and the New England Patriots have been on this trend right now that's dominating the NFL. That's why their teams are stacked every year. And you're starting to see more teams trend towards that. Dallas has a very young team. And it was the youngest team in the NFL last year. But the problem is a lot of these players are turning out to be really, really, really good players. And when there's a salary cap, all you're doing is showcasing your talent for other people to sign. They have a lot of players coming up. Malik Collins, Awuzie,
Chidobe.
Byron Jones, Antonio Brown, Jordan Lewis. A lot of big names are coming up. Not to mention the guys only signed to 1 year. Randall Cobb, Quinn. These guys are going to be walking. So you got to play this game. You got to play this second-tier trend like everyone else is doing, so you can keep your teams going in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, you said, 62% are on rookie contracts?
62% of the NFL is on rookie contract deals. That is amazing.
I mean, you think about how many people, enter the league every year. It's a lot of rookies.
Oh, you want to talk about baseball?
Before we go into baseball, Nate Diaz is fighting Pettis this Saturday.
Yeah, how about Conor McGregor? That thing came out there. He punched some guy in the face in a bar.
No, what? Oh, I didn't see that.
I guess it happened back in April, but now they're just coming out with it.
I hate when that does that. How do you just find out about that?
He went into a bar in Dublin, and he poured shots of his proper 12 and gave out free shots to everybody, and he put a cup in front of a customer, and he refused not once but twice to drink the shot. And after Conor McGregor took the shot and drank with everybody, he turned and punched the guy in the face.
What's wrong with people?
I don't know. He's like the Ezekiel Elliott of MMA. Get in trouble, you're a big star, and it can't stay freaking in the right direction off the freaking field and in the ring. So dumb.
Let's talk about the Phillies, man. A lot has happened with the Phillies. You see what happened?
They got Charlie Manuel.
Yeah,
they did.
They got the fossil right there, okay? The fossil. Hidden season truly commences with Charlie Manuel as the Phillies coach. On Charlie Manuel's first night as the hitting coach, the Phillies were struggling. Their offense was really struggling, as we know. But they erupted for 13 hits and an 11-1 win over the Chicago Cubs. I almost said Chicago wrong.
Well, they're losing 5-0 tonight to the Cubs. But
they were about to sweep the Cubs, which is nice. I mean,
Charlie Manuel is a 75-year-old baseball genius. He reminds me of Dexter. He's a great hitting coach, and he knows his stuff, and he's going to turn that team around.
What's crazy is a decade after they led the Phillies to 2008 World Series, the fans were after a grand slam by JT. They were chanting Charlie, which is did you imagine that? And then they also did after Harper's upper deck bomb in the sixth inning.
So speaking of hitting, Alonso ties the NL rookie home run record with 39 home runs. Bellinger first to 40 home runs this year with a massive blast. I think it was like 430 some feet. Home runs are flying, baby. Yeah. Home runs are flying.
The Phillies are 62-58 right now. They're currently losing. 2 games back in the NL wildcard race, which is a crazy race.
Oh, there's 40 games left. Yeah. There's plenty of time.
What sucks, though, for the Phillies is Jake Arrieta is probably done for the season after he was placed on the injured list earlier today. Jake Arrieta is getting an MRI for his bone spur and said he'll probably miss the rest of the season. What's crazy? Well, first of all, he averaged less than 5 innings per start over his last 6 games, which is almost certainly he'll be back with the Phillies in the 2020 once he picks up his $20 million option, This is what Kapler said, their manager, okay? Said every 5th day, despite being uncomfortable and not being able to execute his pitches the way he wanted to execute his pitches, Arrieta gave us everything he had, and it was genuinely a heroic effort in a lot of ways. People are giving him crap for that, for saying he's a hero, but think about it. Obviously, he sucked and struggled, and they probably could have put someone else out there, but he was dealing with a bone spur, and he still went out there and gave it his all. Imagine going out there pitching with all that pain, and you still gave it your all. That truly shows you a player who's not willing to just sit down and cry over a paper cut. He's going to try and play out his contract.
Yeah, absolutely. You
got to give him great stuff for that.
I agree. The Yankees are getting kicked in the teeth today. I think this will be their second loss since not the All-Star break, since the trade deadline. They're really getting punished tonight. And I can't wait until Severino comes back. He pitched off the mound again today. Him and Betances both pitched. So we can stop doing that open pitching day and have our starters go.
The Phillies' Aaron Nola is currently 11-3 with a 3.56 ERA. Yeah.
Was it Arrieta that's out for the year now?
I just said that. I literally just talked all about that.
Oh, okay.
It shows you that you were listening.
I was reading.
The right-hander bounced back from less than a stellar out in 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs that he had in San Francisco. He pitched 7 innings against the Chicago Cubs. The only run he allowed came in the 7th on a homer of Chris Bryant.
Well, they're only 2 out in the wild card. The wild card is still a crazy race.
Yeah, they put Rhys Hoskins. They put Rhys Hoskins, who's slumping right now, in the in the leadoff spot, and he actually got a hit. But JT is going off right now. He threw out his 26th attempted base stealer, and it's the most by a Phillies catcher since Mike Lieberthal.
What's that name? JT what?
JT Realmuto.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that.
Best defensive catcher in the
Great guy. MLB. So this Mike guy gunned down 26 in 2002. Overall, Realmuto has caught 26 of 65 people, 40% this season.
Best pop time and everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah. He in 42 games since June 24th, he's hitting 305. 14 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs, and 27 RBIs. He's currently batting .277, has 17 home runs.
Since you're doing stats, I got some crazy stats, and this stat has to do with the Yankees and the Orioles.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done with the Phillies.
This is crazy. The Yankees are 17-2 versus Baltimore this year. It's the most wins by the Yankees against one team in a single season since they went 17-5 against the Kansas City Athletics in 1959.
Go ahead and read that stat about how many wins they have against the Orioles total this year.
I just told you, 17-2.
Oh, I thought you said 7-2.
17-2.
I was like, it's definitely a bigger
There we
number.
go. See? Okay, anyway, the Yankees became the 8th team in MLB history to win 17 games against one team in 19 or fewer in one season. And it's the first to do it since 2013. The Indians did it against the White Sox. The Yankees lost the first 2 of 3 games versus the O's and peeled off 16 straight wins. That's the 3rd longest streak in team history. In 19 games, this is stats amazing. The Yankees have 151 runs, 7.9 per game. 61 home runs. They average 3.2 per game. August 5th through 7th at Camden Yards, the O's allowed 16 home runs in 3 games. That isn't crazy.
And Gleyber Torres owns the Orioles. I wish we had his stat.
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
The Yankees won all 10 of its games at Camden Yards, breaking the record for most wins by one team at that park.
Do you write all these notes down?
Yeah.
Take your time and you scribble your little pencil.
The Yankees set a record of 95 runs at Camden Yards. 80 was the old record. The Yankees also broke the Red Sox record of 23 home runs at Camden Yards in one season with a staggering 43. That's crazy.
What?
The Yankees beat the Red Sox record of 23 home runs at Camden Yards. They broke it with 43 total this year. And they don't play Baltimore this year, so Baltimore's probably like, thank God. The Yankees this is the Yankees stats, the stat line as a team. 320 batting average, 398 on base percentage, and a 725 slug. That's at Camden Yards this year. 61 home runs versus one team beats the league record of 48. More Yankees hit home runs, 17 total, than the Orioles hitters did all season. They only had 15 players hit home runs this year. Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres did the most damage. He's batted .394 with a .467 on base percentage and a 1.045 slug percentage. 13 home runs, 20 RBIs, 22 runs scored, 4 doubles, 9 walks. 13 home runs is the most by one player against one team in a season in the divisional era since 1969. He passed Sammy Sosa, who had 12 home runs versus the Brewers in 1998. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Dude, the Yankees dominated the Orioles this year. That's all you could say to that. I mean,
and that's what we didn't do last year. I mean, we struggled against the Orioles in Tampa Bay last year. Crazy.
What did I want to say? I'm sorry, I was watching some highlights for the NFL preseason. I saw Lamar Jackson run like a 30-yard touchdown, even though we talked about him not running a lot last podcast. But
I don't think he ran at all the last preseason game. I think he was 4 of 6 for like 59 yards and a touchdown.
Are you done with the Yankees?
Yeah.
The one guy that I wanted to talk about, and I'm embarrassed because I looked up how to say his name. I think it's Aquino, maybe. It's the guy from the Reds. He's a rookie. He's only 3 home runs right now behind Adam Dunn for the NL record, okay? This guy, in 13 games this season, 13 games, okay? You listening? 13 games over there?
13 games.
He's batting .386, 17 RBIs, and he has... Where's the home runs? I have here somewhere. I don't know. This is embarrassing. This is really...
It's not embarrassing. There's nobody here.
I mean, but we have people listening. Go ahead. You want to chat for a second? Because I don't know. Did I not write it down? This is embarrassing.
Maybe you want to pause it.
No, we're not going to pause it. It happens.
You know what's a cool stat?
No, but anyways, this guy, I think he has like 13 or 14 home runs. It's what's crazy is when you watch this guy, he's a taller guy, but he's not big. And his batting stance, you remember Tyler Reyes on our team? Mm-hmm. So he almost looks like that pitcher that never bats, but you put him in, he has like that crazy long batting stance. And when he hits the ball, it doesn't really look like it's going that far. but he's just crushing it. He's crushing it. And if you think about the Reds have a lot of young guys right now, and then they got a lot of pitching now. It's mind blowing to see in 13 games, he's batting .386 with over 10 home runs.
You know who's doing really well too? Who's that new guy, that shortstop they brought up for Toronto?
I was trying to tell you that earlier, but you were taking notes. Bo Bichette.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's leading off for them now.
He's batting like .396 since he came up.
He set like the Blue Jays record because he was nonstop getting hits. Every single game he had a hit, and he was hitting doubles and home runs, and he's fast. He's real fast.
Dude, they're going to be a good team. If they get pitching, they're going to be solid.
I was talking about that today. I said they have their 3 stars up right now that they had for Buffalo, the AAA team. They have Vladimir Guerrero, Boucher, and I don't remember what the other guy's name is, but it's their 3 stars. And I said to Rudy today, if they get pitching, they're going to be an elite team.
You know, whoever thought, and this is mind-blowing. This is how crazy the league is. Whoever thought that the Yankees, with Judge and Stanton combined, would only have 13 home runs. The Yankees have almost 22 or 23 guys injured, and they're in first place and the best team.
9 home runs, by the way.
Huh?
9 home runs in the season.
Who?
Aquino.
No, but I'm just saying. Who would imagine that the Yankees would be tied for the best record in the MLB with our subpar pitching, an up and down bullpen, and our 2 big stars combined for only 13 home runs?
Dude, I know. I mean, I saw an interview with Stan today where he's trying to come back for the preseason, and
as you said, he's not going to rush back.
I could see why. I mean, when you watched his facial expression, he looked upset. I mean, you signed a big contract with the Yankees. I mean, you didn't sign a big contract. You got traded. Obviously, you want to play, and it must hurt. I mean, in the interview, he's like, "I'm happy to see them winning, but it must suck knowing that they're winning without you." But I would want to get back healthy and not get injured again.
My God, if we can get Severino back healthy and bring up that Garcia kid and we get Betances back.
So could you imagine
Luke Voit was running on and hitting the other day?
You know what's mind blowing to think? No matter how many injuries we've taken this year, the people from AAA have just been astonishing. Mike Ford doing great,
and we're not even
Estrada,
ranked in the top 10 for farm systems.
Estrada, Urshela, Tauchman, it's just and Cameron Maben. Cameron Maben's just a beast right now.
Chance Adams is pitching right now. He's just getting lit up.
Could you imagine before playoffs? First of all, Happ and Paxton are looking great right now. If they get Happ for playoffs, could you imagine Severino comes back, Betances comes back, Stanton comes back? We just get everybody.
But the thing that's good about Paxton and Happ is they're changing what they've been doing. Before it's just been dominating with the fastball, trying to get the fastball. Happ's problem is he can't get the fastball and locate it in on the hands. So they've been going to their off-speed stuff, and it helped Happ the other day, even though our bullpen kind of let that game almost slip away against the Orioles. But Paxton's last 3 starts have been pretty good. And if we can get going when we need to get going, and we can get Severino back and Betances back and get that 5th starter so we don't got to deal with an open bullpen session, we'll be all right. But we got to get Stanton back. We got to get Voit back, and we got to get getting our pieces together. And hopefully by the end of the season, the puzzle will come together. The one stat that I have on J Happ is he's 9-7 this year with a 5.43 ERA. He's allowed the most home runs in one season in his career, 29 this year. And like I said, he's definitely been working more on his off-speed stuff to try to get ready for the postseason run.
You know, it's crazy. You said he's 9-7. I think he had maybe 1 loss for us last year.
Yeah.
That was half a season he played with us.
You know what's amazing, though? The Rays have won 14 of 17 games. So, last night they lost. They're 10 back now. But they've been sticking right with the Yankees. The Yankees have been hot since the trade deadline. And I talked about this the other day with the podcast that we kind of terminated. I just can't believe that the Boston, they're the defending champions, and the team is still good. And the struggles that they're going through this year.
I mean, you think about their bullpen's terrible. I mean, Chris Sale started the season off doing terrible. When your pitching's not doing well, you cannot rely all the time on your bats. I mean, we've seen that with the Yankees.
And they're talking about next year, J.D. Martinez might be gone. He might opt out. Could you imagine him coming to the Yankees?
We so many people though.
It don't matter.
Obviously, I would take J.D. Martinez.
I would give them Stan.
All these young prospects. Okay, I would not want to face Stan against our rivals.
Why? You won't face him. He's always in the minors hurt. I would definitely do that. I don't want to say Stan's a bad player, but it seems like since he's come to New York, there's like the New York curse has gotten to him. I mean, he did get hurt in Miami a little bit, but he hasn't played a lot of games for us.
No,
it's a big
gotta be
contract,
frustrating.
$300 million contract, and he spends more time on the bench pulling splinters out of his ass.
But I think if you think about how, what was it, 2 years ago he won an MVP award. I think you have to think he's still got a lot left. You just got to hope that he comes back healthy.
Problem is, though, when you get the same nagging injury, or when you come back from an injury and then you get another injury, it's kind of hard to stay healthy anymore. These guys. I mean, I'm watching an interview with him now, and he's just like talking about his injuries and coming back, and he's not going to rush. And I mean, you don't want him to rush, but and what is up with his eyebrow, man? Like that one, it's like looks like it's half
like a
shaved.
scar.
Oh, okay, maybe you got the ball there. I don't know.
It's crazy. Like you just have some guys that never get injured, and some guys just can't stop getting injured. I was thankfully one of those guys when I played baseball. I've never had an injury to this day.
I just, Aaron Boone, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Yankees fan. Aaron Boone should be the coach of the year. With all the injuries that he's faced this year, and all the players that he had to send out,
you gotta give it up to these prospects, to these young guys. I mean, they're giving it their all.
I mean, DJ LeMahieu tonight again, 1 for 2. He's batting .338, 19 home runs, 81 RBIs. I mean, that guy is just all around solid.
You think about it, like these guys, like when they come up to substitute for injured players, they have big holes to fill. Like when Judge was injured, when Didi was injured, Torres had huge shoes to fill. Andujar goes down. Young prospect we're expecting a lot out of. Urshela comes in, dominates. Luke Voigt. Everyone had so much skepticism. God, I said that word really wrong.
Skepticism.
They had no chance thinking he was going to do again what he did last year.
Gio Urshela is batting .335, but he does not have enough at bats to put him even into the.
Which doesn't make sense because he played a lot.
No, he didn't. Not in the beginning, he didn't. He actually has almost 112 less at bats than DJ LeMahieu, and it's hard to make up bats now. He's got to play almost every day and get a lot of hits and get a lot of at bats. But guys like Cameron Maben, he's batting .312. These guys have really stepped up.
Really,
Mike Tauchman batting .295. I mean, 12 home runs. I mean, at the beginning when he first came up, I was like, man, no, Mike Tauchman.
I mean, think about it. You think about one of probably our worst player on the team is Gardner, and that's not even a bad thing because Gardner's doing well.
He's having great numbers. I mean, his
that's
average
crazy
is 256.
That's crazy to think about.
He's got 17 home runs, 50 RBIs, 173 total bases, 42 walks, and he only struck out 65 times. If you had to guess on our team, who has the most strikeouts on our team?
Right now?
Yeah.
Torres? Judge?
No. Luke Voigt has 114 strikeouts this year.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Judge, he only has...
he hasn't played a lot.
87.
That's sad because he hasn't even played a lot.
DJ LeMahieu, only 66. Brett Gardner, only 65. Gio Urshela only struck out 58 times all year.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, it's that time of the year. We're getting ready for September and get that final push. More pieces will be coming up when they extend the rosters in a couple weeks. I'm excited to see if the Yankees give these younger guys opportunity. Some guys that are getting the opportunity, like Sessa, Loaiza's back now. They've been helping us out. Chance Adams, I don't think he's ready. I think he needs to go back down. But you got Domingo Acevedo. You got a bunch of guys down there, man. They should start bringing them up and letting them get their feet wet in the MLB.
Yeah, absolutely. Get these young talents up here, get them experience for the postseason.
Well, I'm excited. Like we talked about earlier, we put in to get our design made, and hopefully we can get some merch made, some hats, some shirts.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I can't wait.
They're gonna give us 9 different designs, and then who knows? Maybe
we'll post on Facebook and ask people which one they like better.
Yeah, we'll see.
Even though we'll pick the final decision.
Okay. But TK is getting ready to go on vacation for a couple of days, so we're gonna be podcast quiet for a couple of days.
We tried to get 2 in. It failed.
Yeah, we did. The first one was a little bad, but we're gonna play a little bit of a clip of that one, and then. Like I said before, we still have a bunch of things trying to go on. We have people we're playing phone tag with. One guy in Australia today, we caught him at a bad time tonight. I was going to have him come on, and it didn't work out. But still trying, still digging. And, these people are not saying no. They're saying yes, they want to come on, but they have a lot of things going on.
Well, guys, we thank you for listening to this podcast. If you stay after we're done saying goodbye, we'll play think it's like a 10-minute clip of just us having a funny story with Gibby. But this will be up on all our platforms. I forgot to upload last podcast on YouTube. I will have to upload 2 podcasts to YouTube. But Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout. We have a few options. We have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Spread the word.
We love you guys. We love you guys. We have a blast doing this, and thank you guys for joining us on Everything Goes. We might even be able to do it Friday.
But let's talk about you and Gibby's fishing adventures.
Oh God, where to start?
First of all, how many fish have you two caught combined? I mean, I've seen videos of fishing poles going in the water and people all falling down hills. And let's see what's going on here.
So technically, if you count how many sunnies we've caught, it's about 3. How many have I actually touched? 1.
So if we were all stranded on an island, we would be very hungry right now.
What's so funny is if you watched us fish today, I would say we probably got snagged 20 times and had to re-hook up by 5. No, the first time that we fished, right? So we were fishing in this parkway, and to get down to this quarry, when I tell you it's steep, it's like steep where there's a rope there that somebody put there to hold on.
That rope was there for a reason.
And Gibby's like, yo, man, I'll go first. I know you've never done this. So Gibby's walking down, right? And he gets down there. Eventually, I get down there, and I get in front of Gib, and I get down to the flat surface, and I hear this I hear this. I hear this noise behind me, right? And I turn around and I see Gibbs' neck, it's snapped back, like in an exorcism movie. He was falling, and he's got this water bottle in his hand, man, and he launches it. I was like, what are you doing, Gibby?
I think I overturned my ankle when we were walking over there's the tree root. I think I overturned my ankle and I flew back.
Best part of that fishing journey is we didn't catch one fish. We had a lot of bites. But as we're walking out, you got to climb out of this forest. And I'm walking behind Gibby, and I see this spider on Gibby's shoulder that probably looked at the size of a quarter. I kid you not. And
I would have freaked.
In my mind, I'm like, how do I approach him without scaring him? So I just went, hey, Gib. And out of nowhere, Gibby is yelling. He's like, oh, whoa. He's taking his shirt off. He's throwing it. And I was like, Gib, there's a spider on you. Let me get it. And we think it's off. And so we're walking up the hill again, and I see this thing on his back again. But I was scared to say something. I didn't want him to freak out. So we're walking, and I'm just like, yeah, Gabe, you're good. I think it's off yet. And dude, I don't even know where it went, but we haven't gone back there since.
You guys should have a YouTube channel and vlog every time you go fishing. You'd probably get more views than our podcast.
Dude, it's more snags than anything. That's really what it is.
We lost just as many poles as many fish we caught so far.
You ever go on YouTube and watch those people that they get chased off of people's property while they're fishing? They get a lot of views. You guys would probably get a ton of views.
Those people that make fishing videos of them just fishing in general get a lot of views.
Yeah.
The best time was when we were fishing with Gibby, and his pole because his pole was already broken, it just fell in half, and his string is still attached to it. So you see his pole falling into the water, getting further and further away, and we're trying to pull it back in, and it was just gone at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there to this day, probably rusting away.
Yep.
See, I don't know my fish either, and this fish I caught had horns on it, so I made Gibby grab it.
We should.
Yeah, I had to take it off.
And then the hook stuck in his head, right? And I'm trying to pull it out, and I felt so bad for this little guy, right? And this is the worst part of the story, right? I'm sitting down, fix my line after we get him unhooked, and Gibby's like, "Yo, you want me to toss him in the water?" I was like, "Yeah, Gib, just go put him in the water." I'm thinking Gib's gonna drop him in the water. Out of the corner of my eye, I see this fish 20 feet in the air. He launched this fish. It's doing backflips in the air.
I hope Pete is not listening to this.
And then it just slaps on the ground. I was like,
it wasn't that high. It was I just tossed him back.
I'm shocked that fish is dead. Wait, who do you want this? Who'd you say? You hope's not listening to this?
PETA.
Who's PETA?
That's the people that protect animals, Ty.
No, man, it's a good time.